good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to all our 12th Monarchs out there in Monarch Nation, coming off a historic win for our team and for Old Dominion University Saturday, 49-35 over Virginia Tech, our first ever win over Virginia Tech, which is significant. First Power 5 win and our first win over a ranked opponent, which are all major accomplishments for our football program. The key to this game was a belief in the plan and then the players' ability to go out and execute the plan in this football game. We had a lot of energy early in the game. We had some positive things happen early, and that continued throughout the game for us. It was really critical that we were able to stay in this football game. There were 4 different times where we trailed by a touchdown in the game. We were down 7-0, then it was 14-7, then it was 21-14, then it was 28-21 going into the fourth, and our ability to stay within a touchdown, because there were a number of times when this almost became a 2-score game, and we just managed to hang in there. And then when we got to the fourth quarter, we had that belief, excitement, the I can and I will attitude, and we outscored Virginia Tech 28-7 in the fourth quarter of this football game. The fact that our players stuck with the plan was the key to winning this. The anatomy of an upset calls for, number one, you have to have belief in what you're doing, and I felt like the coaches and the players worked hard putting together a game plan. This is the first time we played a complete game this year. The first 3 games we didn't. We played well in spurts. This game we played well throughout, so we stuck with the plan. Offensively, we needed to hit vertical passes versus man coverage. That was the number one thing in our plan. Defensively, we needed to confuse them with some looks in their RPO game. I felt like defensively we hung in there throughout the game, and we did a good job with mixing in some coverage and looks within this game that helped us. And then special teams-wise, we needed to play even with Virginia Tech, which we did. We did not allow any explosive plays from Virginia Tech on special teams in this game. Going back to or starting with the offense in this game, Blake LaRussa just had a sensational football game. This was the impactful type of game that Taylor Heinicke played against New Hampshire in 2012 in terms of he just got hot and he stayed hot throughout. We brought him in the second series of the game. His first pass is from our 1-yard line. He throws a 30-yard strike to Travis Fulgham that he perfectly drops in versus man coverage, which was really good coverage by Farley, Virginia Tech's corner, and just put the ball right on the money. And throughout the game, it felt like a lot of his deep passes, throws he were making were extended handoffs. That's how hot he was in this football game. He played just a sensational game. Fulgham and Duhart both played the best games of their career. And then we had a number of other guys that had explosive plays. Harper had an explosive catch. Isaiah Spencer, freshman tight end, had an explosive play that led to a touchdown. Hassan Patterson had an explosive 37-yard catch that led to a touchdown. So a lot of the focus was on Blake and Travis and Jonathan, and rightfully so, but there were other explosive plays in the game. And then we finally got some run game going. Jeremy Cox was the healthiest he's been this year in this game. That's the best his ankle felt, and you could see from his performance, 20 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, that he was healthier. That's the Jeremy Cox we all know, the guy breaking tackles, extending runs, bringing a lot of excitement to our sideline. And then the offensive line, I felt like we did a very good job of holding up, and then in the third and fourth quarter, starting to play really good football, starting to impose our will up front, because that was a very difficult game to block. Virginia Tech has an outstanding front seven, and our guys hung in there and then gained some momentum as we went along. Defensively, against a very good offense, we played well enough to win. If you just look at the drives in this game, Virginia Tech had the ball 16 times and they scored 5 times. That means we had 11 stops on defense, and there were some impactful stops. I think the most impactful stop we had in this game was Geronda Hall's interception. With 1:30 to go before the half, we were down 14-7. Virginia Tech just got a first down on their own 45. It looks like they're going to drive and potentially be up 21-7 at the half, and Geronda Hall intercepts the ball, turns it back to our offense, and we go 79 yards and score. with 4 seconds left to make it a tie game at halftime, and we really needed to be in that position at halftime for the belief of our football team that we could win this football game. And that was a critical play by a freshman starting his first college football game. That was an impactful play defensively. We also had O'Shane Zimenez played as big as any defensive player we've ever had play at Old Dominion. In the biggest game in the history of our school, he played just an incredible game. He was a force the entire game. He had a couple sacks, but he was disruptive the entire football game. And then Marcus Haynes, also with 2 sacks in this football game. That's somebody you're going to be seeing a lot more of as we move forward. Marcus gained a lot of momentum and confidence. Sean Carter with 12 tackles moves to 6 all-time in the history of our program. There were just a number of those type of plays and players that we needed in this game. Quite frankly, we hadn't had the number of players that played at a high level previously that did in this football game, and we needed to have that to win the football game. This week's opponent, East Carolina, is 1-2 right now. I think they easily could be 3-0 at this point. They were upset their first game of the season at home, and then I just got done watching their South Florida game, which was a dominant performance by East Carolina. South Florida is 4-0 right now, and East Carolina dominated in every phase of the football game other than the scoreboard. They lost 20-13. This is a good football team. Their quarterback, Reed Herring, is throwing for 284 yards a game. He throws a good football, a catchable ball. He can make all the throws. He's got mobility. He moves well. They're averaging 435 yards a game and 26 points. They've got excellent receivers. They spread the ball around. Their running backs can go the distance at any time. Defensively, they're only allowing 320 yards a game and 22 points through 3 games, and that's impressive. And what they did Saturday night defensively, they're fast, they're physical, they get to the football, they've got excellent D linemen. I don't see a big difference between Virginia Tech's defense and this defense in East Carolina in terms of the explosive players that they have, particularly in the front 7. This is a very good football team, and this is going to take a tremendous effort for Old Dominion to go down to East Carolina. We'll go as underdogs again, and we're going to need to have a major effort to compete, to be in this football game, and have an opportunity to win. And I will gladly take questions.
At one point during the game, Boo was on the ground, and also O'Shane kind of held to the sideline. Are they both okay?
Yeah, they both are. It was such a physical game. And there were a lot of plays in this game. A normal game is around 180 plays. This game, there were 210 plays. We ran 84 on offense, and Tech ran 83. So just the volume of plays, how physical it was, and how much energy they expended not only during the game, but in the student mosh pit after the game. There was a lot of energy expended by me as well. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Biggest game is over. How hard is it going to be as a coach to get everybody focused on East Carolina after the big win Saturday?
Not at all. Not going to be hard at all. No, when you go through an experience like that, you gain tremendous confidence. And we were a team that wasn't feeling very good about ourselves going into this football game. So that the confidence, the way we practiced this morning, we had an excellent practice this morning. You can just feel the energy. You can feel the relief. You can feel the excitement. Confidence and momentum are a really big thing in college sports and in college football, particularly for a program like us that's had a good amount of success, and we weren't going into this game. So we talked about taking 24 hours after the game and enjoying everything that happened with it, try to remember certain things for the game. So 25 years from now, when you come back with your family, you can tell them, this is exactly what happened and where it happened. So we needed that 24 hours, and then I felt this morning they were ready to go. They wanted to get ready to go to East Carolina, because East Carolina is a program that it's easy to get excited about. East Carolina traditionally is a really good football program. They're the closest FBS program to us. When we initially joined the league, we thought that was going to be our our partner. We thought it was going to be East Carolina, and we've been able to get a 2-game series with them. I'm hoping we can get more. So the players all know East Carolina. They're all excited to go and play there. It's a beautiful stadium, the whole thing. So I feel really confident that we'll use this momentum and energy from beating Virginia Tech to help us continue to get better this week in practice.
Coach, I'm Robert Floyd, 13 News Now. I don't cover a lot of these things because I can reduce the debate, but this is a news story.
Well, it's good to have you here. These are all the regulars. Have you met everybody? Do you know everybody here? Yeah. Welcome.
But from the news standpoint, I was at the bookstore today, and they said typically on Sunday they sell $2,000 worth of merchandise. Yesterday they sold $7,000.
I bought 5,000.
But that just so it goes to show it's a lot more people walking around
Yeah.
town with ODU stuff. What does that mean for you as a coach to know that there's a lot more people who are now fans because of this one game?
Yeah, it's a great moment of pride. All the phone calls, all the text messages, all the situations like you just talked about, how proud people are of Old Dominion to be able to say they were part of history. There were 20-something thousand in that stadium. I'm sure 5 years from now there will be 100,000 that were in that stadium. You know, everybody wanted to be a part of that. And what's even more impactful as I look at it, as somebody who's been here from the beginning, is that's the best football program in Virginia. Clearly, there's not even a close second to Virginia Tech. We don't have pro sports in Virginia, so Virginia Tech football is up here in every way, shape, or form. And they're still up here, even though we beat them. Virginia Tech is up here. So now for people that love Old Dominion to be able to say, we beat Virginia Tech in football, that's impactful. That's why you sell $5,000 more worth of merchandise at the bookstore, because people have that Old Dominion pride. They want to wear something that says Old Dominion football, and that's a proud moment for all of us involved with this program. You're welcome.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you all for being here, and thank you 12 Monarchs for being loud and proud on Saturday. Let's all take a road trip to Greenville, North Carolina. Have a great week, everybody.